conceive, believe, achieve. Shut the f*** up.
You're listening to Believe You Me with Michael the Count Bisping and Paul Felder.
There we go. That's better. Paul's bringing it up to my level.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll never reach my level entirely, Paul. you can try. Welcome to the show, everyone. Go on, sorry.
No, I was going to say, I'm reaching for the stars, you know?
You're reaching for those grapes, for that cheese and wine. Do you know that reference? Tito Ortiz.
That's what it was. I was like, I know we've talked about it on the show. We've talked about it on the show before with Tito.
Paul's reaching for the grapes, guys. Welcome to the show. Obviously, tremendous amount to talk about. I just got back from Vegas. I was there. I was in the building. I'm going to Australia tomorrow. Never complain. We don't start the show like that. And we've also got Alexander Fluffy Hernandez joining us, who's got a big fight with Sean Strickland, I think, coming up soon. And maybe Darren Till. Maybe. He's in Dubai, so he's done a crazy time difference. So we'll see. He might jump on, looking sinister. What's new with you, Paul? How you been?
Wow. Just East Coast got slammed with a ton of snow, and then on top of that, a bunch of sleet and winter mix. So I think we got about 8 inches of snow here, and then it just sleeted for hours and hours and hours. So the whole top layer of everything is just a sheet of ice. So that's it in my world, is just digging cars and driveway and sidewalk out of snow.
I was out there at 3 o'clock shoveling to prevent myself from being iced in.
We made a mistake, and we thought, and our neighbors, we were all in agreement. We're like, let's not shovel until the sleet comes, and then there's the layer of ice on top, because we didn't want to get ice on the thin layer underneath, so there'd be double layers of ice. I don't know if it was the right move or the wrong move, but lifting that heavy ass chunks of ice off of the top today was tough.
You got to shovel early and then put ice melt down.
I know. Yeah, we did it backwards. But
this new generation, they can't even shovel a bit of snow without coming on a podcast and complaining. Paul.
Man. It was a good warm up for me today. My wife Christine went out there. She wanted to get out. She just wanted to get out of the house and get some exercise. So she's like, "I'll go shovel." She did a bunch of it. Then I went out, finished it, and then got a workout in. But by the time I got done doing the damn shoveling, I was like, I'm ready to go. Like I was sweating out there, and it's only like 20 degrees here.
Yeah, no, I do see on the news that it's like a crazy snowstorm. Thousands of flights cancelled. So yeah, I'll be good going out of Cali tomorrow, because I'm going the other way over the Pacific, pardon me. What kind of temperature are we talking? How cold is it?
It's been, the lows are like 7 degrees, and then it'll get up to like 20 right now.
Right. Okay. So low 7 degrees. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. It's probably like minus 15 or something. So it's freezing. It's freezing.
Oh, it's freezing. Yeah. I mean, the whole layer of, icy mix that went on top of it. It's like a sheet of ice snow on top of all the snow. There's just mountains of snow all throughout my neighborhood right now from everything getting plowed.
Rebecca, just real quick, Paul has his wife out in the morning shoveling snow.
You would be too if we had snow.
Oh, she says that I would too as well. Yeah, I've got the coffee. That's all I require from you. Thank you very much. Don't start talking shit. Jesus, didn't call you away for that. What was I going to say? Oh, no. So Weidman, I did the desk with Weidman, and his wife was going on at him for about the last month. They need a generator.
Oh, no. They lost power.
Well, because they got a newborn baby. Yep. Oh. No power in the house at all. Snowed in like crazy. His name is Mud for not getting the generator that his wife insisted on for like the last 6 weeks or something.
Yeah. It's just been a pain in the ass. And then we're supposed to get it again this weekend. I don't know if the guys heard, Harrington or Brian heard anything about it, but I'm hoping that doesn't screw me up, because this weekend. Never mind. I'm thinking I'm working this weekend. I'm not working until the following weekend. So I'm good. I don't care if it snows this weekend, as long as it doesn't snow in 2 weeks. I need to get to work. I need to work.
Yes. Well, I've been doing lots of that. I hate to rub it in.
10 weeks.
Since you did the UFC.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. You got to get back, bro.
Dude, I'm ready. I don't know. And then I got to do interviews for my first show back, because it's me it's me, Laura, and Brendan. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh man, I was kind of hoping the first one back would be with you or DC, just so that I didn't have to do the interviews. Not that I don't want to work with Laura. I have no problem with that. But
No, that's what you said, Paul. That's what you said. I heard it loud and clear.
That bitch.
She's great at what she does, Paul. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, she is.
I don't like women in the workplace.
I know. Outside, shoveling snow. That's where they should be.
Yeah, get outside.
Babies.
Get outside.
Talking about
Put the baby
fight.
on your chest.
2026 is crazy. You got women talking about fights. It's wild.
Yeah.
Right, we've got loads to talk about from last week. Now, we'll start with this one because I was getting a lot of people thought it was funny, but there was also quite a few people talking shit for some reason. Brian, get ready to cue up the clip. The weigh-ins. I was doing the TNT Sports weigh-in shows. And hold on, Alex Perez missed weight.
Yeah.
Not Cameron Smotherman. Smotherman did not miss weight. Alex Perez missed weight by 2 pounds. And I'm sure you'll agree, Paul, I never have sympathy for people that miss weight.
No.
Regardless of the situation, that is one of your only obligations. Show up on weight and in shape. If you, I don't like it when I see you tired after one round, right? You haven't done the work. I think that's pathetic. And you can't make weight also. And you're not a woman. So therefore you don't have thyroid issues and you're not on your period, right?
Yeah.
That one gets thrown out all the time. A man can't even say that. You bitched out. You didn't make weight, right? And then right as I'm saying that, you just got to make weight. It's not hard, is it? And then Cameron Smotherman.
Sympathy for these guys. You got one job. Show up on weight, in shape. That's it.
It's part of the contract, isn't it? You've signed on the dotted line. You've got to go and get the job.
You're a professional fighter. It's not hard, is it? You have months. Oh, have any?
So everyone online was like somehow talking shit about me.
When I saw that, though, I was like, you got to be, that is the most perfect. As soon as you say, it's not that hard, this dude literally collapses from trying to make weight behind you. And I'm laughing because of the situation. Obviously, I'm not laughing at whatever Cameron Smotherman went through, which is crazy, too, because you're not even talking about him. You're talking about the miss that already happened. And this poor guy makes weight, makes it, and then passes out. It just, you can't write this shit. It's just the most perfect timing. And it's wild, too, because if it's true what he said, which is he said he doesn't even cut all that much weight. You know how it is, man. Your electrolytes get imbalanced. You're just dehydrated. Your blood pressure drops. I think that's all that happened to that kid. Is I think his blood pressure was too low. He thought he was good to go, and luckily he kind of like caught himself a little bit, like we were talking about, where it could have if he'd face plant it fully, he's missing all his teeth.
Well, dude, that's why I got a little conspiracy theorist on it for a moment, because there was another clip that I watched without me in the front, and it was just on Cameron Smotherman. Right. And I think I texted to the group, to you guys, and I texted to another group from TNT Sports, and they're like, don't say that publicly, Mike, because you're wrong. Now, I had a dirty martini, which was nice, and I'd also had 2 glasses of wines, and the guy was a UFC fan, so they were healthy pours, right? So my conspiracy mind was maybe a little bit going overboard, but I'm watching it. I'm laid in bed Friday night, and I've watched it over and over and over and over and over, and I'm like, did he fake that? Because he goes down, his hands go to the side, breaks his fall, and his head goes side on. Now, I will say, I was wrong. I'm wrong. The general consensus is that I'm mental. The one eye ain't seeing things that aren't there. It's overcompensating, you know. But for a minute, I was like, oh, it's very convenient how he turned his head to the side. Anyway, his face was split open and all sorts. So I was definitely wrong.
Yeah, but I noticed that too, that he wasn't really bleeding from the cut. But I think that's because of how low his blood pressure probably was. That it didn't even bleed. That's not a good sign. That's not a good.
We are gonna get into Paddy Pimblett versus Justin Gaethje fights and everything, of course. But last thing, real quick, we had a fight pulled. Now I'm on the text chain. Harrington, jump on, bud, because Dana White essentially confirmed this at the post-fight presser that a bunch of crazy money started coming in on Michael Johnson, who was an underdog against Alexander Hernandez. And given what happened with the Isaac Dulgarian situation, they thought, well, we're not having this again. So they pulled it. But Harrington, you first told us, what do you know?
Sorry, did my camera just freeze up?
You have frozen up like the weather in Paul's backyard.
I'm sorry. Let me refresh.
Just get out of here. It's fine. What do you know, Paul? Anything?
No, but I was already had seen YouTube and Instagram clips from like betting guys that just do posts about, who they're picking, and the line. And there was guys already way before the announcement saying something strange is going on with the Johnson and Hernandez fight, because they were talking about how that line had moved. And then obviously an hour or so later, Dana and the UFC had pulled that fight. I don't know if like an injury got leaked or if it's another just full blown conspiracy with betting stuff going on. Because here's the thing. Now we're automatically just going to assume, oh shit. And the UFC, I think, doing the right thing, even if it was just, somebody found out that he's injured, that can't be happening. That shit can't be leaking like that to the point where it's getting all these guys making big bets on fights. It's shady. It's shady.
It's shady. It is. It's crazy. It certainly wasn't happening in my day, but I spoke to someone that shall remain nameless, and they mentioned a high-profile fighter that told him that he'd been approached 3 times.
Wow.
Weidman said that about Masvidal. Just, I don't want to be too ambiguous, like I'm making shit up. And I was like, really? That's crazy. It's crazy. Anyway, whatever. They've got people all over that shit. Let's focus on the good stuff. Let's focus on the positives. 324 starts with a curtain reveal. And of course, when I heard this was happening, I thought Bruce Buffer is in his element. They lift it up and there's Brucey in the cage. But what a way to start off the main card. That was cool.
Yeah, the whole thing was cool, man. I liked it. And just knowing I can just pop that on. You don't have to worry about switching. There's no pay-per-view. There's no this. It's still the same quality, but everyone, I was talking to all my friends too, who aren't fighters, just are fans of it. And the fact that they can just have Paramount Plus, be able to watch every event, all the old events. I thought it looked good. I liked a lot of the desk stuff that you guys did too. I thought you guys had a lot of really good time, quality time. I mean, we had 3 former champions on the desk for the first one. I noticed that. I mean, between you, Chris, and Dominic getting introduced into the Hall of Fame, it was a really good week. And I thought you guys did a really good job of having like just a back and forth conversation about all the different fights. I thought they let you guys talk for a really good time. The desks looked good. I thought it was a good start. And you can't, like, some of the fights obviously didn't live up to what maybe we thought, but you can't, there's nothing you can do about that. You can just set it up, and sometimes it's going to get knocked out of the park, like the main event. And sometimes it's going to be tight. Some fights were close, controversial, and decisions that were made.
Yeah.
Good night.
Well, we were saying that because Kate Scott, the new lady, Kate Scott, very nice woman, by the way, very good at her job. She was like, she's never been to a UFC event before. I said, it's going to be amazing. I said, well, hold on. Like, all the bells and whistles and the production elements will be perfect. I said, but sometimes it can be a bit of a dud. Sometimes you can go to a massive football game / soccer game, right? And it'll be a 0-0, 0-0, right? You can't control that. I said, but if the fights are good, it's going to be like nothing you've ever seen. And it got off to a good start. Ty Miller, new guy, knocked out Adam Fugit in the first round. Josh Hogan defeats Denzel Freeman and then goes crazy on the microphone and then has a crazy post press conference. I don't know if you saw any of that shit. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did, where he had his manager with him the whole time.
He's a maniac, man, but he's fun.
He is fun.
And then, it kind of slowed down a little bit, but we'll fast forward to the main event. Paddy Pimblett, Justin Gaethje, 5 rounds. Here's what I saw. We all watched the fight. And if you didn't, go and watch it. It's free on Paramount. But if we all saw it, right? Paddy impressed me because I saw something that I didn't know he had. I didn't know he had that kind of dog in him. I didn't know he had a chin on him like that. I didn't know that, like, the stuff that you can't teach, he has that. However, so he should be proud of himself. He fought his ass off. He got dropped multiple times. I thought it was finished in the first round. I thought it was finished in the second. I thought it was finished multiple times. So the survival ability, fair play. But when the fight starts, he goes out, his chin's up in the air, his hands are low, and Nick Pete and Adam from TNT, they know him really well. They're like, that's how he fights. I'm like, well, he's got to fix that. Because at this level, you're going to get clipped.
Yeah, it was. I thought the same exact thing. I was like, oh, God. I was like, And up to that point, I think I was 4-0 on my picks for the main card. And then Paddy just starts getting smashed. I'm like, oh my God. But then he starts landing uppercuts and he starts finding his timing. And every time that Gaethje looked like he was going to smash him and he was done for, he would find his way into that fight. I think he even changed Gaethje. Gaethje even said, I was trying to kill him early on and eventually had to start just trying to touch him and find shots. And those are the ones that ended up hurting him because he was trying to prove a point early on. He came out like a bat out of hell, even more so than we normally see him. And for Paddy to be able to hang in there for 5 rounds and have his moments in each round, I couldn't believe it. I know he didn't win and I know he's upset about that, but you're right. The fact that he showed that much grit, that much determination to still fight back and try to win these fights, I think you're right. I think he's just got a lot of film now to look at and say, okay, where was I making big mistakes? Where was I getting caught? The team was all over it. I really thought that Paddy's team were all over the things that he needed to do because they kept telling him, you can't get backed up against that fence. That is where Gaethje was starting to just unload shots. I was saying it too when I was watching it on my couch. I'm like, he can't sit on that fence as long as he is, because that's when that chin that stays up high gets exposed really bad. When he's out of distance and he's using his kicks and he's able to fight long, he did a great job. And that's when he was timing a lot of those uppercuts too. But dude, it was just a fucking wild fight for the first fight, main event. The main event on Paramount.
Yeah. I agree with the assessment on getting backed up. That was kind of his problem. He's also got to work on the wrestling, because if you can't take it down, your opponent down, having that world-class jiu-jitsu, which it is very strong, it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean a thing. So he's got to work on that. One thing that I did notice is that when they clinched up against the fence, from there, Paddy was, and I'm not trying to be negative or critical or anything, it's just analysis. He backed up against the fence. They would clinch, overhook, underhook, whatever, 50-50, whatever you want to call it. From there, Justin was working where Paddy was kind of chilling.
Yeah.
Justin was like landing little shots, good uppercuts as well. But then in the wrestling side of things, he was like ragdolling him, getting him in that snap down, dragging him down to the canvas and punching him and stuff like that. And tell me what you think of this. I said to Weidman, I'm like, you know what the difference is there? That's wrestling, which is what Justin is, versus Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Because Brazilian jiu-jitsu, it's all nice and flowy, and it's called the gentle art. You use your opponent's strength against them and this and that. Where wrestling, they're just going to ragdoll you. And they're not going to rest and all the rest of it. That was the big difference there, I thought, because Justin's wrestling kicked in, snapped him down to the ground, doing more damage, punching him in the face, where Paddy was like, lads, what's going on, mate?
Yeah, it's just meaner, right? That American style wrestling that Gaethje uses so well. And you're right. He was doing that snap down and he was kind of in just that front headlock position where he was staying completely safe too. Because even if Paddy had tried to roll forward and pull guard from there, Gaethje's out. He's out of there. He kept himself in a position on the mat where he was always going to be able to do damage and land those shots, or back the fuck out of there and not hang out on the ground with Paddy. And Paddy's just kind of forced to cover up, look to hold an arm, but doing no offense whatsoever when he's down there. Yeah. He's got to work on, and I know those guys don't really do that. I don't know. I don't want to say anything because I don't know the team that well, but I know at that gym that Paddy's at in Liverpool, I think when we were talking to a couple of his teammates who made their debuts, maybe in Doha or not.
Shamrock, Luke Riley.
And Luke Riley, they talked about how they just kind of grapple MMA. They don't necessarily have a designated wrestling, grimy kind of practice. And you can see what advantage you get from that, right? Even if you're not going to just straight wrestle in the octagon, it teaches you that even when you're grappling, you're being mean with it. You're using your forehead. You're digging under. You're being aggressive with the body position. So hopefully that's something they can work on.
Yeah, and again, I thought there's a lot of positives from Paddy's performance, and I gave him a glowing review on Saturday. Just things you can work on and improve on, and just where Justin was just ahead a little bit. Obviously on the feet, he was landing the better shots, but Paddy really impressed me with not only getting dropped, but then getting back to his feet and then immediately going on the attack. And even in round 5, as you mentioned, those uppercuts, They were beautiful. I mean, it was a weird angle of an uppercut, but it doesn't matter. They were landing. They were doing damage. Justin was definitely hurt on a few occasions there. So, and he came up to the desk afterwards, and his face was bust up. His jaw was kind of swollen and stuff. So, yeah, brilliant fight. Brilliant fight.
Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable.
Now, he's in the interim champion of the world again. Very, very happy for him. Oh, I've got to say, Paddy on the mic really impressed me as well. When Joe Rogan was like, you didn't get it done, but you should be blah, 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 blah. And he's like, I don't need to prove that I'm tough.
Yeah.
I know that I'm tough. I wanted to come here and become a champion. And I thought, you know what? That I respected that so much. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I don't need your credit. I wanted the belt. I know I'm tough. I know I'm world class. All right, today's episode is sponsored by Fume, which is a flavored air device designed to help people quit vaping and smoking by breaking the hand-to-mouth pattern. It's simple, natural, and honestly, it's kind of genius. No nicotine, no batteries, no vapor, just a weighted, twisty, fidget-friendly tool that gives your hands something better to reach for when cravings show up. Now, most attempts to quit fail for one reason. They try and remove the habit without replacing it. Fume is the replacement, a flavored air fidget device that lets you satisfy the urge to reach for something without nicotine, vapor, or batteries. Just clean, natural vapors and a fidget-friendly design that feels good to you. So don't just try to quit. Upgrade the habit loop. Reach for Fume instead. Now, of course, it's January. New Year's resolution. I'm going to stop smoking. Easy on day one. Then the cravings hit. By day 5, you're back to your old habits. Well, not with Fume. Fume are here to help interrupt the old pattern. And of course, lots of flavors, the crisp mint, the peach blush, or the gingerbread, amongst many others. And right now, when you grab a journey back, you also get a free gift just for using the code BELIEVE. Fume has helped over 700,000 people take steps towards better habits, and now it's your turn. Use the code BELIEVE to get a free gift with the Journey Pack. Head to tryfume.com. That's tryfume, TRYFUM.com. Use the code BELIEVE to claim your free gift today. What are your thoughts on Justin Gaethje, otherwise known as the human highlight reel? In his next performance, his outing with the UFC, he would preferably go up against the winner of Max Blessed Holloway versus Charles Dubronx Oliveira. What are your thoughts on this situation, given the fact there is a number one contender named Arman and there's an actual undisputed champion by the name of Ilia Topuria?
Yeah, I don't like that. And not that I wouldn't watch that fight, but I think 100%, hopefully, that Ilia can figure everything out going on in his personal life, and that is the next fight. I mean, that's what we all want to see. That's what Justin should want, right? He's talked about all he wants to do is be the undisputed champion of the world, not the interim champion of the world. In order to do that, he's got to go and fight Ilia. So fingers crossed that everything with Ilia and everything going on in his situation gets worked out, because that's the fight I want to see. There's a card in June that everyone's talking about, and that fight makes perfect, complete sense. It needs a fight like that. And it works out perfectly. It gives Justin a long time to recover from a crazy 5-round fight again in June. That gives Ilia all the way into the end of June to have his shit all in line and be ready to go. So, which
is a while, right? And I am speculating, but given Ilia's situation, which I don't know much about, but we know it's a custody battle over children. It's a divorce with his wife. I get it. Very distracting, very stressful time. You don't want to go through a training camp, but you're not injured. You don't need surgery. He last fought, I think it was International Fight Week or UFC, whatever. It was summer last year, right? Against Charles. Dude, he's got to get back in there and fight. You got to fight. You know what I mean? I love Ilia. He's brilliant. But like, dude, all right. Have a bit of time off. But you can't sit around forever. You know what I mean? I mean, court cases can go on for bloody years.
Forever. And it looks like he's training. I mean, I see clips. I see him in the gym. I see him working out. So I'm hoping those are all good signs pointing in the right direction. And he came out as soon as the fight was over, had some negative things to say about Paddy, of course.
What did he say?
He called him like a sausage or something like that. And, you couldn't beat a 38-year-old man and yada, yada, and congratulated Gaethje, but just told him you're screwed is basically what he said to him.
I've got to see it. Well, why is my Twitter not giving me a search option? There we go. Ilia Topuria. Keep talking, Paul.
Yeah, I'm hoping that is all signs pointing towards that this fight is going to take place.
He says, little sausage. Yeah. The only thing you had to do was beat a 38-year-old guy. You just lost the biggest paycheck of your life. You were going to get rich if you won. Justin, all I can say is congratulations. And I'd like to tell you to get ready, but you're screwed no matter what. All right. Well, given eradicate the conversation that we just had, it sounds like he wants to get in there sometime over the next few months.
Yeah.
Justin versus Ilia is the natural course of events. It shouldn't be Tom Aspinall versus Curtis Blades defending the interim title when there's a champ out there. We know John Jones caused that situation. So, and the White House is the one. It's got to be
one. It makes perfect sense. Gaethje obviously wants to fight on that card. He's a proud American. He's always carrying the flag around. Get that man on that card. He's violence no matter what. No matter what. You want to talk about making sure that you put fights on that White House card that are going to deliver. Whoever and Justin Gaethje is a guarantee. It doesn't matter who that other name is. And the fact that it's Ilia Topuria only makes it that much sweeter because it's going to be a knockout. It's going to be violent. Or it's going to be something like we just saw with Paddy, where I think we all assumed there was going to be a finish there. I think we were kind of under the idea that maybe Paddy could pull it off, hurt him, get a submission, or Gaethje was going to do what it looked like he was almost going to do throughout that fight, was just knock him out. I never saw that fight going five rounds.
No, never. Oh, shit, I'm just moving something from the camera because you see a little something at the bottom. Harrington, he's normally has an interesting take these days, and he's up the game in terms of...
He quit.
He did.
Yep. Looks
quit.
like it.
Couldn't take it anymore.
That's what it sounds like.
He's like, bro, you're 25 minutes into the show and you haven't got to women's MMA yet.
He's just struggling with his equipment.
I get it. We'll tell him when he comes back. Oh.
No, he's struggling still.
Yep. He's trying. He's trying.
Oh, he was frozen.
My voice works. My camera just refuses to cooperate today.
All right. Well, can we do that? Yeah. Maybe that's for the best.
Dude, this is the best I've ever looked on this show.
I mean, have you been on a diet, Harrington?
Man, black is good on you.
It's very slimming.
Do a 4-shot, Brian, because that's just ridiculous. And Harrington, what were your thoughts? Harrington?
I'll be honest. Listen, man, this reminds me of BYM, the good old days when it was audio only. I think my big thoughts were like this was the fight where I think Paddy kind of became a UFC fighter. You know what I mean? Like he had this kind of like othering mentality from the moment he started. It was like, I'm here to get as big a paycheck as I can, as many big fights as I can, cash these checks and get out of the game early. This is the first fight where I was like, okay, he was tested. He was in an absolute dogfight. This whole Scousers don't get knocked out thing, I think the stock's never been higher on that statement until this weekend. I feel like the fans at least don't fully accept a guy. They don't fully get behind him until they've seen him be the nail. And I've never seen, even in the Jared Gordon fight, he wasn't being the nail. It was like a lot of, this is the first one where it went, oh my God, he's still staying in it, still throwing bombs in that
trying to win,
round, trying to get a win.
Trying to win. That's what I loved about it too, Harrington. And I think you make a really good point there where this sport in particular,
now, Brian, respectfully.
Oh, take him away. I think that's true. I mean, fans loved him to begin with, but he had a lot of haters too. I think this is one of those fights where a lot of those people that maybe were like annoyed by the whole Paddy vibe and everything that comes with it are going to go now, okay, wait a minute.
Yep.
There's nothing to say here other than he's got some things that he can work on to be fighting the absolute best guys in the division. But for sure, he proved that he is up there amongst the absolute elite in that lightweight division. When you go toe to toe for 25 effing minutes with a guy like Gaethje, who's trying to kill you that entire fight, and then you get hurt, you hurt him back each time, the stock goes up off a loss for.
Yeah. And Harrington brought up a really good point, and we'll move on from this fight after this one. Easy, Tiger. It was a shock at saying Harrington brought up a good point. You kicked your desk. No, but because there were some people have the, critics have the theory that he was coddled and given, ideal
softer matchups. Yeah.
Softer matchups. Tony Ferguson on a 7-fight losing streak. Chandler as well. Even you can make criticisms and stuff like that. And then people like Luigi Vendramini, which is fine when you make your UFC debut. There's nothing wrong with that. But there was people with that. I think when you go out there, and even in a losing effort, you show, no, I'm a real fighter. And whether or not you think that I had easy matchups, look at what I just went through. Didn't give up, didn't quit. I think everyone watching that fight would have a lot of respect for Paddy Pimblett after that. You can't not respect the effort and what he showed and the heart. So fair play to him. Well done to Justin Gaethje. Ilia for you. Hopefully that's next. Sean O'Malley. Right. Question. Did Sean win that fight?
I'll be honest. I haven't rewatched it since Saturday, but in the moment when I was watching that fight, I thought he probably lost that fight and won the third round. I
said the same thing. So I did a little YouTube video as it was going on live. And I was like, oh my God, because I thought Son got the first and I thought he got the second. Maybe I was putting too much stock into the takedown. Third round, O'Malley looked fantastic.
Yeah.
Like the O'Malley of old, and certainly put a beat down on him. Then O'Malley came to the desk and he kind of changed my mind, because he's kind of right. He's like, all right, so first round, and he's right according to the numbers. He landed more.
Yeah.
And they weren't devastating shots.
Yeah.
But it's still better than Song Yadong going for and swinging and not connecting. There were little jabs. There were little teeps to the stomach. They weren't much. They weren't devastating. Does getting a takedown and having 30 seconds of control time and no damage outdo the jabs and the teeps and the this and the that?
Well, it should.
I don't think they do. I think he probably did take it very, very closely.
And I know that was the round that was definitely up for debate. I think Song came out, won round 2, and then Sean, hands down, wins round 3. So again, I'd have to watch it back. And I think anytime a fighter ends looking that good too, I think when there's a round that was super close, you kind of hope that maybe it goes the other way. But in the moment, I thought, okay, Song probably got round 1, round 2 for sure, and then Sean. But again, I'm not mad at it.
No. It's one of those. It wasn't a robbery, far from it. And Sean got it. Good for him. He's back to winning ways.
And hopefully he can start looking more like round 3, because, he had a layoff. He had been debating on what he was going to do. And then now you're in your rhythm again. It's like, let's see more of that. And I said to my friend, even that watched it with me, I was like, I kind of want to see a fucking classic Sean O'Malley performance where he's just slick, countering, looking sharp. And he became that in the fight. And
you know this, because he was nervous, man. He was nervous, as I could see it at the start. He was trying to do something in the octagon. He didn't, and it looked like he was like there was so much nervous energy going on. And he admitted that he was nervous. And of course, you don't want to lose 3 in a row, right? Lesser fighters sometimes might not have a job Monday morning. Of course, that would not be the case with O'Malley. But even still, you can't go on a 3-fight losing streak from being the man, one of the biggest stars in the sport, to then losing twice and then getting beaten by Song Yadong, who's not a household name, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, I had everything, and now the world's going to come crashing down around me. This fairy tale dream of the last few years is all going to go away. The sponsors are going to go away. Opportunities, people online are going to talk shit. Everyone else in the division will say, oh, yeah, you had an easy run. Kind of like what they said about Paddy is what they said about Sean O'Malley and stuff that.
Yeah.
So that all plays a factor in there, So, and he did get finished against Marab the last time out. So, a tentative start. I think next time we will see him with a little more in his groove.
Yeah, you could tell he was off. And he's a guy that relies so heavily on that rhythm, right? Fake dribbling the basketball, showboating in there. And just when you're not on, none of that can happen. And then you try to force it, like you're talking about, where it looks like he's trying to feint and get into a rhythm and you just can't get that going. It can be super frustrating. But man, shit, by the time that third round came around, he had shook off the cobwebs and looked really good. And again, like you said, whoever's next. And he said, obviously he wants Petr Yan, but we got to see what's going to happen with Marab. What do you think about that situation? Where does Sean go next? Who would he fight if he were to fight and not for the belt?
Well, I know that Yan, because I called his last 3 fights, every meeting was calling out Sean O'Malley. He's like, I want O'Malley next. I was robbed on the scorecards. It was a close one, whatever. We don't need that conversation. It was a close fight. O'Malley got it. He said, I was robbed, right? My title was taken off me. Oh, no, it was Aljamain that took it. But he was like, I was robbed on the scorecards. I want to fight Sean O'Malley again. Jan's the champ. We don't know what's happening with Merab. Umar, after beating Figueiredo the way that he did, he ain't getting that. O'Malley's a massive star. He's going to get, it wouldn't surprise me if there's an announcement in about a month's time, maybe a little longer, that O'Malley's fighting Jan. That's the fight.
Yeah, because I was watching that, and obviously with Umar fighting, I was like, okay, he's got to impress here. He's got to impress and come out, and then you can maybe be the one to slide into that title picture. And I said, as soon as that fight was over, I was like, if Sean goes out and looks good, but then Sean didn't look good at first. I was like, oh God, where do we go at bantamweight from here? And then finally he got his shit together and started to look clean in that third round. And I was like, well, he's gonna get on that mic. He's gonna start calling for stuff, and he's probably gonna get it.
Right. We'll skip through these because we've got so much to talk about. But the crowd booed like crazy when Rose Namajunas did not win, when she wasn't announced the victor. I thought she won the fight. What did you think?
Yeah, that was another one where it was interesting. And again, not my favorite fight either.
Yeah.
And I should have rewatched all these today so I could have a fresher mind.
It's fine. Cortez Acosta versus Derrick Lewis. I thought Derrick Lewis, loved the guy. He's great.
Yeah, what happened there? Do we know? Did he just slip, or did that jab? Do you think that jab that Cortez Acosta rocked him?
Yeah, he caught him for sure. Because Lewis, I mean, he's got that power, right? But he was just swinging.
So wild with it.
Hell for leather every shot. And we know, first day of boxing, they will tell you, you can't just go, "Rrr." You've got to be composed. You got to set it up. You got to move some feints. And whilst Derrick Lewis, listen, if he'd have landed one of those shots, we know what happens.
Yeah, you're lights out.
Waldo,
look good.
Staying smooth.
Took his time too. He knew, let him swing, find that timing. And what happened? Derrick Lewis got tired. He started to get tired. And as soon as he started to fade, he started to press him. Then he countered him with that jab. And holy shit, the ground and pound that he landed on him was brutal, man. Look at that. Like, he's nowhere to be seen once he throws these big punches. He's gone. Look at that. That was clean.
Perfect.
That was like a step back. It was a right hand that almost turned into a jab because he was stepping back and out of the way.
There was one curious bit where, because in the first round, Derrick Lewis slips or something. Oh, no, or Waldo catches a kick, whatever. Lewis goes down on his back. Waldo's standing over him, kicks his legs a couple of times, and then calls him up. And it's like, dude, what are you doing? This is the guy that's in their history books as knocking people out the most on the feet.
Go punch him in the face.
I don't think he knows how to do an armbar. He certainly ain't going for any triangles or a bloody, flower sweeps or anything like that on the ground. He's not hitting a normal platter on you. You are completely safe to go down into his guard. The best thing he's going to do is just stand up. That's the way that he does.
And that's all he does.
Yeah.
Derrick Lewis is an anomaly. He's one of those guys who goes out there. He doesn't do a technical stand-up. He doesn't do all the things that me and you are constantly like, you got to get to a hip. You got to dig an underhook.
Get the underhook.
Forget it. He just goes.
Yeah, he does. Well, Eric Paulson used to teach it when I trained with him. It's called the Y escape. You just plant your arm under the armpit and then just, if you're strong enough. Yeah, and Derrick Lewis does it. He just gets up. So that was a little curious from Waldo, but regardless, second round dropped him.
Finish him. Thank God for him.
All right, if you're a dog lover, listen up, because Better Wild are here to help you and help your dog. I've got 2 dogs. Harry, we love him, but his breath absolutely stinks. Ford, he's great. He's always scratching away like crazy because, well, dogs always have a lot of allergies and they like to have treats as well. They're always begging for something. So now I can give him a treat whilst fixing their problems. I can give him a chew for Harry whilst it fixes his bad breath, because Better Wild has all kinds of supplements, all kinds of treats, and they're all designed to help something. I use Better Wild Allergy Relief Soft Chews, a supplement designed to support your pet allergies defense system by strengthening their digestion. They're actually the first and only chews with ancestral advantage wolf probiotics derived from your dog's mighty ancestor, the wolf, that help restore a healthy balance of good bacteria in the gut. Better Wild Allergy Supplement Chews include 4 key ingredients: a premium blend of wolf probiotics called the Ancestral Advantage, which is derived from kimchi that's been clinically proven to reduce itchiness and redness in just 2 months with daily use, colostrum to boost immune function and fight inflammation, salmon oil to support healthy skin and fur. And by the way, another thing is it'll stop begging all the time, wanting your food. You just give them one of the Better Wild treats because they love them. Harry and Ford absolutely love them, and I'm sure your dog will too. Better Wild is committed to helping your dogs with science-backed, veterinarian-approved solutions that turn out you can feel great about them. The dog are going to love them, and it's going to fix a variety of problems. And Harry's breath is already getting better. And right now, Better Wild is offering the listeners up to 40% off your order at betterwild.com/believe. That's betterwild.com/believe for 40% off your order. Betterwild.com/believe. Give your dog a treat, make it healthy, help them out, fix the breath, stop the scratching. Betterwild.com/believe, 40% off your order. I feel for Arnold Allen, man.
Oh.
Arnold Allen's great. He's awesome. He's such a lovely guy. He's quiet. He's unassuming. John Silva's a lot of fun. He's mental. He's wild. He was crying all week. He was crying with the belt on. He was crying in the fight, after the fight. Did a little surfing on the back of Arnold Allen. I said this. I've been knocked out cold, but I think I'd rather get knocked out cold than have someone stand on me and mock me like that in a UFC fight.
And
you
then
prick.
jump off like this. He jumped off like he was in a ballet, that guy. He is wild. The day of the fights, I reposted that clip that the UFC put out of him with the belt, and he's just like screaming and crying. And I was like, it's fight day, finally. And I posted that video of him.
He's like
bawling.
A more emotional Brazilian Yuri Prohaska.
Yeah. He's out of his mind. But the man brings it every single time he can fight. Arnold Allen looked good early too, man. He looked good, but God, Jean Silva. Lord Jean Silva.
He's a mental patient, but he's great. He's fun. I love the way he fights. Arnold had the great game plan. He was picking him apart. I loved it when he goes 1-2, and then Jean Silva's like, that was nothing. So he goes, boom, fuck off, sticks him with the jab again. He was moving the right way. He was kind of picking him apart. But you got to think also for Jean Silva, he just got knocked out last time against Diego Lopez, who's fighting this weekend. We'll talk about that in a bit. So he had to feel his way back into the fight as well. You know what I'm saying? Because regardless of how confident you are and all the rest of it, dude, when you come back from getting knocked out cold, there's a lot of psychological trauma, skeletons in the closet. There's a lot of nerves, man.
You're going to be hesitant. You can't help but be a little hesitant in there, especially when you got a guy in Arnold Allen who is very good. You know, it's not like you're coming back and you're getting some slouch. You're getting a guy who's very hungry to get back into this featherweight division. He's been out with injuries for a long time, and he came prepared. It's just, man, Silva just finds a way. He found a way to start landing. He was landing the bigger shots. And even when Allen was on point and scoring, it just the effect that Silva has on these guys when he starts connecting, it's devastating.
Yep. Hold on. Who's this? Oh, whoa.
Yeah. I was fired up about this fight because this really spoke to me. I thought this was a great way to start first main card in the Paramount era. As you said, Arnold Allen really was taking it to him early. What I found very interesting, though, Allen kept the pressure up late in the fight, but wasn't actually throwing anything. It felt like Silva just had aggression, screaming at him, silenced Arnold Allen. The last 2 minutes of the fight, I don't think he threw more than 2 or 3 punches, but he was coming forward and staying in Silva's face, allowing Silva to just land on him and really make those stats look crazy in his favor. I'm just wondering the mental side of things late in that fight, to be applying pressure but not throwing anything. Where's the disconnect there?
Well, just because anytime you throw throw, you
Open
run
up.
the risk of getting countered. You know, you open yourself up. But Harrington's brings up a good point. Great first fight. If there was anyone tuning in that in this day and age has never watched UFC before, but they're like, you know, I see all this hype and it's going to be on Paramount, and I've got Paramount. Screw it, I'll put it on. And the first fight you see is Arnold Allen and Jean Silva. You're like, oh shit, this is pretty good. I'm going to watch the rest of this.
And it's technical, and then you get craziness because it's Jean Silva, so you're going to get madness. But you also see brilliant MMA at its best with those two. I mean, the striking was on another level. They're scrambling. There's a little bit of everything. And then you get a guy standing on another human being and jumping off towards the end of the fight. So if you weren't a fan of MMA or UFC in general, and you watch that, you're going to be like, okay.
Yep. So there it is. There's UFC 324. There's other fights we can talk about, but we've got lots of other stuff. We might have Darren Till jumping on from Dubai. We might have, we might not. We should have Alexander Fluffy Hernandez. We've got UFC 325. We've got a bunch of other stuff to talk about as well. I put this in the chat last week, but I don't see it in the notes. I did say to put it in the notes, Harrington, but I don't see it. Did you see that clip of Oprah last week on The View?
Yeah.
Try and find that clip, Brian, if you can, mate. Harrington should have put it in, but whatever. So Oprah Winfrey is on The View, and she's talking about how she takes blood pressure medication because her blood pressure is high. And when I come off the blood pressure medication, my blood pressure goes up. So now I take these GLP-1s like Ozempic, and my weight goes down because they've discovered there's an obesity gene. So for years I was shamed because I felt like it was my fault and I was eating too much. But it turns out I've got a gene. So I take a medication which counters that gene. Yeah, here it is. This is, hold on, before I say it, before you press play, Harrington, Brian, she should be ashamed of herself for saying this. And fuck me, how much are they paying her to come out with this absolute shit?
All these years, I thought I was overeating. I was standing there with all the food noise, what I ate, what I should eat, how many calories was that, how long was it going to take. I thought that was because of me and my fault. Yeah. Now I understand that if you carry the obesity gene, if that is what you have, that is what makes you overeat. You don't overeat and become obese. Right. Obesity causes you to overeat. Right. Obesity causes you to have all of that food noise. And what the GLP-1s have done for me, and I know a number of other people, is to quiet that noise.
And it goes on and on and on. Right. So, I mean, I'll let you speak, Paul, but like, what message is that sending to all these unhealthy people that sit around, that overeat, that don't exercise? Oh, it's fine. I've got a gene. It's not my fault. I'll just keep doing what I do and take these medications that are going to make them absolute trillions of dollars.
Yeah, it's bullshit. I did see that. And I had the same reaction that you had about it, where it drives me crazy, man. We're definitely in an era where it's just the blame game. Oh, I have a gene, I have a sickness, I need to take this medicine, I'm depressed, I need to do this. I agree that there are some people out there that have issues medically that you need to take medication. I get it. This, I think, is bullshit. And I want to see these studies. And where has this been? I haven't heard of this obesity gene. Like, what are we talking about? Maybe you have a slower metabolism, somebody else. You still got to be a fucking lazy ass and overeat like crazy to get humongous and obese.
It's called discipline. It's called discipline. It's having discipline over what you choose to put into your mouth. Listen, I have good weeks. I have bad weeks. I have some weeks like even now I'm a little bit on the heavier side, but then I step on the scale and I go, shit, all right, I got to dial it up a bit, right? I'll increase my workouts a bit. And I, like over the weekend, I was traveling and, you know, the diet went out the window. Saturday was nothing but burgers at the desk. I had a croissant sandwich for breakfast with cheese, eggs and sausage. And then we had cheeseburgers for lunch. And then it was chicken burgers in the evening. And then it was another burger. Then it was a pizza at the airport. Do you know what I mean? A few beers thrown in along the way. It's like, yeah, okay. Listen, if I fucking don't step on the scale and have some accountability, I'll get obese. I don't have an obesity gene, but I tell you what, I can get obese pretty quick if I don't take action and hold myself accountable. And also, by the way, What happened to all the body positivity crew? I thought it was fine. I thought it was beautiful to be big and fat and overweight and unhealthy and obese and diabetic and die early. I thought that was beautiful. Isn't that the message that these dickheads were pushing not too long ago? Now, oh, no, we've got an injection for that. It's not your fault, sweetheart. You eat all the donuts you want. You have whatever you want. Overindulge, eat yourself silly because we got a little jab. We got a little jab and you ain't going to have to move or work out. You're going to get skinny. You're going to lose weight. And it's also you're going to lose all your protein. You're going to lose all your muscle mass and your bone density is going to minimize massively. So when you fall over, when you're older, your hips are going to break and your legs are going to break. But guess what? Oprah's going to make loads of money off this and the pharmaceutical industry is going to get even richer than what it already is because there's an obesity gene, guys. Fuck off.
Preach. There's nothing else to be said. There really isn't. It drives me bonkers with that shit. Just admit it. Just be like, look, I'm taking this because it's easier. I'm just taking this because it's easier. Just
and that's okay.
Say that. It's okay. That's okay. Sure. If you can afford it and you want to do it and you're really willing to take whatever risks are associated with it. I'm not a doctor. I don't know all of the side effects and stuff like that, but just admit it. Like, look, I'm going to do this because it makes it easier.
Listen,
don't blame it on a gene. Come on.
If you are overweight, right? And I understand, right? It's messes with your mind. It takes away from your confidence. You don't have the confidence in the first place to even go to a gym because, you're like, yeah, I feel so out of place and stuff like that. So you're kind of trapped and then you get depression and then you overeat. And so I understand that. And I feel for people stuck in that kind of, that cycle. So if in the short term, probably could be a very good thing, but don't. So have that, give yourself a head start, force the discipline because it takes away your appetite. So you lose some weight, make sure you're getting enough protein, but don't be on it long term. It's like, get a little head start, get a little help with your discipline. But be honest about it, be truthful about it. Don't dress it up as an obesity gene. What horse shit, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then these people that are sitting out there, and women obviously watch that show on Oprah Winfrey because I don't. I just saw everyone hating on it on social media. Like, you know what I mean? They're going to believe all this. Oh, yeah. Nobody wants. Well, no one should want, and nobody wants a wife that's going to sit there on her ass, all right, getting fatter by the day. And blame it all on an obesity gene.
Yeah.
And then just take a load of Ozempic. Yeah. It's crazy, man. It's a weird world that we're living in.
I thought this was kind of fun. When she disclosed she was on Ozempic, she realized it was a conflict of interest, and she resigned her position on the board of Weight Watchers, which she was pitching for decades before.
Yeah. She was like the spokeswoman for Weight Watchers.
Now she's like, oh, no, it wasn't that. That I had a gene.
Yeah.
It wasn't that I was overeating calories.
There's a bullshit gene as well. Clearly. Anyway, guys, live your lives. Enjoy it. All right, what have we got? Because we should have a guest right about now. I thought that was Alexander Fluffy Hernandez. Who does he fight? He's fighting Strickland, right? Coming up soon.
Yeah.
When is that fight?
Not Seattle, is it? No. It's not Austin. Houston.
Oh, I'll be calling that.
Yeah, me too.
When is that? 21st of Feb?
February 21st.
Yes.
Shit, man. Sydney? I'm doing Mexico. Are you doing Mexico City?
No, I'm doing next 2 weeks from now at the Apex. Then I'm doing Houston with you. Then I'm doing Oliveira and Max. I'm doing the desk.
Oh,
desk. Yeah.
Okay. So Sean Strickland versus Anthony Hernandez. This is going down in Houston. And Fluffy has been good on the correspondence. We'll jump on in just a second, I'm sure. Sergey Spivak versus Ante Ilia. Yeah, it's a good card. And just as I started reading that, I'm like, why am I reading that? We've got a pay-per-view this weekend. Sorry, numbered event. Let me bring up the fight card. We know it's Volkanovski versus Lopez. What are your thoughts on this fight? How do you think this goes down, Paul?
Well, I think it could
can't
be
make
very.
I can't make a prediction.
Yeah, can't make a prediction, but I imagine it's going to be similar to what we saw the first time. I mean, I think Diego has got to try to mix things up maybe a little more and not and stand and let Volk get into his rhythm the way he did in the first one. But I still think he has a shot of hurting Volk and getting him out of there. We saw him do it in that first fight, but wasn't able to seal the deal. But I just think I'm leaning towards Volk doing the same thing, winning a decision, maybe even and being able to get him out of there. But I don't know.
The thing about Volk is he is a smart fighter and clearly learns from former opponents, because when you look at the first fight with Max Holloway, very close fight. I actually thought Max won the first one. Then they rematch. Volk wins the second one.
I think it's the other way around. I think the first one, Volk won, and then the second one, I think, is the one that Volk got away with one. Can you guys confirm, right? Was that the close one?
Regardless,
one of them was close. Yeah.
Regardless, the point I was making is he learned and then learned, because in the third one, it was a shutout. And Volkanovski clearly closed that conversation, shut the door, and was like, hey, listen, I'm the better guy. And he was in the third one. So he's a very smart guy. Volkanovski's got great boxing and footwork, but he's also got a really high fight IQ. So he clearly learned. He's got an amazing team. But Diego Lopez, still a young man, came back, knocked out Jean Silva. And the one thing that really stood out in that first fight, because I just watched it a few days ago, because obviously, get him a research in early, buddy. When Lopez threw, he hurt him. He dropped Volkanovski a few times. So I think Lopez is going to come out the gates hot, wild, aggressive. And because, you can take his shots and that you can hurt him.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's going to be a banger again. I mean, I think Diego Lopez is another one of those guys where you're just guaranteed that you're going to see a fun ass fight. And then Volk, again, so technical, so experienced in there. He knows what he's in for. And that's what makes me nervous for Diego Lopez. Is once he's studied you, he's been in there, he's gone all 5 rounds with you, he's felt your power, he's going to change how he fights you. You're not going to see the same Volkanovski that you saw in that first fight. You're definitely going to see a different game plan. And he's just able to figure things out on the fly too, if Lopez is surprising him. But I don't know, maybe that part of me is hoping that I'd love to see Volk be able to sail off into the sunset soon off of some big wins. And I'm not calling it, so I can say that.
No, and I'm certainly not calling it, but because I am calling it. 2 years ago, when Volk fought Ilia Topuria, which is 2 years ago, he played up to the whole thing because, there's the curse. No one over 35 had won a title fight in something like the lightweight division and lower. So he came out on a walking stick and the old man flat cap and, did that whole skit. What are you little UFC fighter boy? Remember that skit he did where he was falling asleep and stuff? He's great, man. But that was 2 years ago. And the skit and the curse, he proved it wasn't a curse and wasn't real, but it is a trend. It is a pattern. Now he's not 35. Now he's 37, right? And at 145, it's those microscopic little bits, where it used to be like urban cat-like reflexes, used to cars and people jumping out and people everywhere and the cat's like da-da-da. Now those reflexes are like that of a lazy country cat that lies by the fire and gets fed all day. Yeah. Little belly scratches. The reflexes aren't quite as quick.
Well, we just saw a 37-year-old Gaethje beat the younger man in Paddy, right? So I mean, that's got to give Volkanovski a little hope of all right, we still.
But did you not think that Gaethje looked a little?
I thought he looked a little reckless.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, he looked good.
I don't think either one. I don't think him or Paddy is probably beating Ilia if he's next.
No. What do you think about that? The one and only Anthony Fluffy Hernandez.
You don't watch fight.
To be main event in Houston, Texas. What's going on, buddy?
What's up, brother? How are you?
I'm good, man.
Honestly, I half-assed watched the fight, and it was crazy because I was making dinner for the family. But it was a good fight.
What did you make?
What do I mean? Fucking carne asada, the Mexican,
of course,
man.
Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
What else?
It wouldn't make stereotypes if they weren't real, so
Yeah.
it's unfortunate.
Types are real. Do you ever make non-Mexican food in the house? And don't say cheeseburgers.
Fuck. Well, take that away from me. Bro, it's not really, no. That's what I got my girl for. That's why I married a white girl, you know what I mean? So we can have some fun.
Yeah. Okay. who does the bulk of the cooking? Are you do you like to cook, or is it mainly your wife or your girlfriend?
Mainly my wife, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just feel like it's their position in life, you know what I mean? Who am I to fucking fuck up God's creation, you know what I mean?
No, exactly. That's what she wants to do. She's very happy being a housewife and stuff. Anyway, never mind that. You're taking on Sean Strickland in just a few weeks. How's preparation going? What do you make of the matchup? And what craziness has Sean been saying? Because no doubt he's been talking some shit somewhere.
Oh, for sure. No, I've seen his little racist post, but it is what it is. I'm like, that's the best you got, then, I mean, whatever. But besides that, now I'm stoked for this fight. I've been getting ready for it, busting my ass like always. Like, I don't really give a fuck what anyone says, because at the end of the day, I got to fucking hit you in the mouth. So
hold on, Paul. I was going to throw it over to you because I'm sorry. What was the racist post? I didn't see it.
His little ice comment. Yeah, his little fucking. He did like me in a poncho with fucking him in an ice thing.
Oh.
Yeah. No, I laughed. It was like, all right, that's funny, but I mean, if that's how you want to fucking go about it, then whatever. You know what I mean? Trying to be a good person and not say shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's tough when you're facing Strickland, who loves to just say whatever the fuck is on his mind.
No, I get it, but it is what it is. I really don't give a fuck, man. At the end of the day, I get to hit him, so it's like, whatever.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, man. The internet. No,
it's undefeated, bro. It's undefeated. You know what I mean? Like,
it is undefeated. Fluffy, how happy are you? And I know it's been all over social media that you are glad this fight is not taking place in Australia and that you get to go and fight in Texas instead. How much better was that for you and prep and with little travel, I'm sure?
No, I'm fucking stoked for it. The only thing I don't like is the no weed shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you can't have everything. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But I have hella family in Texas, and like I have like hella family from Oklahoma, so I'll be seeing all of them, and I haven't seen them in years. So a little bit of violence and a family reunion is fucking great by me.
Can you smoke weed in most of the other states now?
I feel like most of them are. You can, but I mean, I usually try to fight in Vegas, so it's like I don't have to do shit. You know what I mean? I can fucking take edibles all week.
Yeah.
Just
What do you make of Strickland as an opponent? I mean, obviously he's a former champion. Last time we saw him was against Dricus, where he didn't really bring it. You know what I'm saying? I know Sean. He's got a good gas tank. He's got good boxing. He's tricky on the ground. What do you make of him? Like, do you think he's going to come out in this one and be aggressive? Do you think he's trying to remind the world that, hey, listen, take me serious. Don't forget about me. Where do you think he's at?
I really don't know, to be honest. Like, I don't really like look into him too much, and I really don't give a fuck about him. So like for me, it's like another fight. The team does their homework. I do my homework. I'll watch I know he's good in the fucking. He has a good jab. He's got good teeps. He's got good switches and shit. But honestly, bro, I really don't give a fuck where the fight goes. I've been training this shit for my entire life. So wherever it has to go, I'm ready to show that I'm a complete martial artist and I'm ready for my fucking belt.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. How frustrating was it for you, Fluffy, to be injured, have to sit on the sideline, see all that go down the way it did? And how long was the recovery for that? How are you feeling now? And again, when you get that close to a title shot, a lot of people are saying, oh, you'd be the next guy. We should see you facing somebody like Chimaev and then have that taken away. What was that like for you to kind of bounce back from that and just kind of put that in the rearview mirror?
I don't know, man. Like, my life has never been like perfect. So, you know what I mean? I really don't overlook everything. I believe that everything happens for a reason. And when my time comes, it'll come. I've taken the hard road, not the easy road. So it'll just be that much more rewarding when I get it.
Fluffy, your cardio is off the chain, right? And mine was the same way. And when you look at, and I know Paul's is as well, because he runs 1,000 miles a week, or used to anyway. But what do you do? Is there anything specific that you do, or is it just like I used to do? I just train hard. Like people used to say to me, what's your secret? I'm like, I haven't got a secret. I just bust my ass.
No, that's basically what it is. You know what I mean? I train my ass off every time I train, and then I go to like my strength and conditioning, Game Fit. He tries to kill me twice a week for 45 minutes straight. And like with that recipe, I mean, it's pretty fucking hard to beat. You know what I mean? I show up every fucking day, I put in the work, and I'm ready to fucking die by fight time. So that's pretty good fucking recipe, I think.
And Fluffy, you're talking about Sean, who's a guy who's been in these 5-round wars. He's a guy who tries to pace himself, right? Like, I know you don't do a ton of research, but you've seen him fight in the past, or at least your team has broken it down. And for a guy that's trying to always be in his rhythm and fight at his exact pace, what's the game plan without giving too much away? But how are you guys going to try to break into that without, walking on to something and fight the fight that you often see where you just push the pace like a maniac the whole time?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's the same shit for me, man. I really, haven't changed much. I've been adding tools to the bag, but it's the same fucking game plan. Stay in your fucking face and make you nervous and make your heart rate go up and down and just fucking drown you, you know what I mean? Like, no matter where it goes, I'm comfortable in this shit.
Yeah, because in your last fight, too, I think, a lot of people always talk about your grimy pressure and how you kind of break people when you're in the clinch and then smother them on the ground and just constantly be beating them with ground and pound. But you landed some beautiful strikes, too. You busted him up on the feet as well. Is that something you could see happen in this Strickland fight, too, where he doesn't show off his ground game, but Sean, from everything that we've heard about him in the training room and in the past, we know he's a good grappler. Can you see a lot of this fight playing out on the feet, and are you happy with that?
Like I said, I really
You don't
I really
give a
don't
shit.
give a fuck. Like, where this shit goes, man. Like, on the feet, on the ground, I feel comfortable everywhere, man. And at the end of the day, I just want to show that I'm a fucking martial artist and I can do it all. Delete said my game plan was to beat his ass on the feet and just to I know he's a dangerous motherfucker. He hit hard or whatever. I even fucking dropped my hands and smiled at him and let him hit me. You know what I mean? Just to show that fuck you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's when I get in there, it's just whatever happens, happens. You know what I mean? I got a fucking chin, I got a set of balls, and I'm willing to test them both.
Love it. You work your ass off. You've got a chin. You've got a set of balls. And obviously you got some skills. But you're also on an 8-fight win streak now, right? You get a win. It's former champion Sean Strickland. 9 fights in a row. When we sit here, me and Paul, and we're doing the podcast and we're talking, we're like, shit, man, Khamzat Chimaev. I don't think there's anyone out there that can beat him. The one name that keeps coming up is Alexander Fluffy Hernandez, because of your grimy style, because of the wrestling, because of the jiu-jitsu, and because of the pace that you can keep. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, no one's I mean, Khamzat's not fighting much, but if and when that chance comes, what do you expect?
I mean, what did you expect? Him to fake touch hands and fucking jump on your nuts and try to hug you? You know what I mean? He hasn't shown shit. He's striked with who he striked with. Oh my god, Gilbert. But he's, like I said, he's a smaller guy. He's kind of a weight bully. I don't know. I just don't like that shit. He comes off like a dickhead. So I'd love to fight him. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go out there, handle Strickland first, and then if Dana calls me and I'm ready for the next one in line, I mean, I'd love that fucking fight. I heard Imavov doesn't want to fight him because they're friends or some shit. I don't know. I don't give a fuck about anyone in this division. Let's get it, man. I really don't care. I'll fight anyone as often as I can.
Is that frustrating too, Fluffy? You see him calling out Pereira, trying to jump into these other divisions. Then you see this going on with, the Frenchman and him not wanting to fight, and Imavov, excuse me. What is that like when you're potentially the next guy in line and you're sitting there going, what the fuck?
Yeah, honestly, I try not to overthink everything. You know what I mean? I just try to focus on one thing at a time. I'm kind of a dumbass, so I get kind of scatterbrained with all kinds of shit. So I try not to focus on that shit. But
it's the winning, bro.
If you're gonna vacate that shit, then vacate it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it is kind of crazy because he doesn't sound like he's got any interest in fighting anyone at 185 pounds. But you're saying, from what you've seen of Khamzat, you don't like the guy.
I mean, I met him one time, and I went to hold the elevator open for him, and he just mad dogged me and was like, nah. And I was like, what the fuck, bitch? I fight too, motherfucker. What the fuck you, bro, what are you trying to do? You know what I mean? I don't know. He rubbed me wrong. He just rubbed me wrong, and I don't know.
The elevator
respectful, bro. You know what I mean? I'm fucking being respectful to you. I mean, if you really got beef like that, then say some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The elevator is never a good place to meet another fighter in your division for the first time. I remember I met Hector Lombard. He just signed with the UFC, and he's a little poison dwarf. So I hold the elevator up, and he comes in, and I shake his hand, and he's like trying to squeeze my hand as hard as he could. And I'm like, all right, bro, relax. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's not that serious, you know what I mean? Like, we both had different opponents that day. Like, what the fuck are you trying to do, bro? Like, I'm trying to get paid, bro. I got a family to feed, you know what I mean? If you want to start some stupid ass little kid shit, then I mean, so be it. Then
Yeah, it's always a pain in the ass when that shit goes down like that. When you know, it's like, look, we don't have to like each other to be cordial to each other in a public space. You know what I mean?
100%. It's like, at the end of the day, it's fucking martial arts, bro. You know what I mean? Like, if we act like a bunch of little fucking kids, then I mean, what do little kids think they can act like? You know what I mean? And this, I don't know, the internet's just fucking, it's a stupid place. People get like, forget you can get smacked in the mouth. So I don't know.
And that's the big one, because so many people these days, it's crazy. They talk shit. They've got such an opinion. They sit there in their mum's basement talking mad shit, and they would never dream of saying this to that person's face. It drives me nuts.
I'm right there with you.
What else is going on? So, like, you talk about the weed. Like, how much weed do you smoke?
A lot. I mean, I actually I just pulled my strain down today, so we got like 20 pounds coming. It's going into like dispensaries and shit. I'm stoked about that with Lumpy.
Oh, you got a personal strain of weed?
Yeah, they did a fucking a strain with me, a collab, and it's fucking awesome. I got to pick through like 13 different grows that they did of weed, and this was the one that put me on my ass. I fell asleep for like 5 hours after smoking it. I was like, that's the one, bro. We're gonna fuck it. That's the one we're going with.
That's the recovery weed. That's the recovery weed.
That shit knocks me the fuck out. You know what I mean? Like, my brain's always racing, so if I can shut that shit off, it's fucking beautiful.
I was going to let Paul jump in there, because Paul's more of a weed aficionado than me. Like, I'll smoke a little weed here and there, but when I do, I get super paranoid and wired, and then I fall asleep. I start talking shit and then fall asleep. Paul's good to go. Paul can function like a normal member of society. So I thought you were going to take the reins there, Paul, on the weed discussion, because I'm useless.
Yeah, I mean, I don't smoke too much, but yeah, when it comes to the edibles and drinks and all that, I love all that shit. Like right now, I haven't been drinking at all. Been off alcohol for a little while now, and I'll tell you, you can get like little sodas and seltzers and all this shit. Oh, dude, if I'm watching a movie with the wife, have one of them, good to go. But I will smoke every now and then.
So what do you call the strain, Fluffy?
It's just gonna be like Fluffy times Lumpies, like for a collab, you know what I mean? So I'm stoked for it. That fucking weed's super good. I posted on my page today. That shit looks good, it smells good, and it's fucking dense and heavy. I'm fucking stoked for it.
So how strict do you have to be before going to Texas then? What's the protocol for you?
I haven't been smoking, and I'm a little bit more like on edge, I guess you'd say. Yeah. Like my kids will be like, you should probably go ahead and go to practice. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I guess I don't realize how much like dumb shit people say when I'm high as fuck, or I don't give a fuck, you know what I mean? And when I'm sober, it's like people say a lot of shit, and I'm like, okay, I'm paying attention now, so fuck you.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't know you properly. I see you around UFC circles and all the rest of it. I know you're always nice and friendly, and you got a smile on your face, and you're a dog inside the octagon. What were you like when you were younger? Because I know you weren't born with no silver spoon in your mouth, and life's been tough. What were you like as a young man? Were you like kind of getting into scraps and brawls? Did you have a chip on your shoulder?
I mean, I've always gotten into fights, like, as a kid and shit growing up. It's like, I'm a nice person, and people take that as, like, a bitch sometimes, and it's like, bro, I'll fuck you up at the end of the day. It's like, I'm not going to run from a fight. I've never ran from a fight, and I ain't going to start now, so, you know what I mean? Like, I've always been chill. I've always worked my ass off. My dad was a diesel mechanic, so, like, most of my weekends were fucking wrenching and doing diesel shit and, like, all kinds of shit like that. So it wasn't really fun. I just knew that I didn't want to fucking do that shit. And I was like, I got to find some type of way out. We were always wrestling. We were always fighting. My dad looks like a huge martial artist. He loved like Bruce Lee movies and all that shit. So like he was kind of a nerd. So like all that shit he was about, you know what I mean? Like, and he was one of my main sparring partners when I was younger growing up. He was a wrestler, so he used to fuck me up. And, So like when I do get a grapple and fuck people up, it's kind of like a tribute to him too. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just, I feel like I've always been a chill person. You know what I mean? Like,
is your dad still around?
No, he passed away like right before the Contender Series. He died. So the last fight he got to go see with me live was when I fought Brandon Allen for the title, and then he died. And then I had a fucking crazy ass fight camp, and for the Contender Series, I was like drunk every day, high as fuck all the time. Failed my drug test, and then knocked a dude the fuck out. They took the win, but I still got signed.
That's
you know
right.
I mean? But it is what it is. You know what I mean? I feel like that day I was gonna fucking try to murder whoever was in front of me. So it worked out.
Yeah. All right, then. Listen, I know you got training shortly, so we'll leave you to it. But in a few weeks' time, against Sean Strickland, what is the prediction? How does that one end?
Man, I don't even know. Like, I never know going into any of these fights. You know what I mean? I just know that I'm going to come and I'm going to fucking try to murder this motherfucker. And that's usually my game plan for everyone. And it's stay in their face till they break. And eventually they always fucking break.
It's a pretty good game plan.
I like
Yes,
it.
sir. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you guys.
Hey,
Fluffy,
thanks, man. We'll
keep
see you
doing
there.
what you're doing.
We'll see you
Keep
there. I
doing what
think we're both calling it, so we'll be.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Even fucking better, my guys. I'll see you
Man.
there.
All right,
go.
Fluffy, all the best, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir. You guys have a great one.
See you, buddy. Right, this episode's sponsored by Prize Picks. The big game is almost here, and there's no better way to cash in during America's biggest sporting event than Prize Picks, where it always feels good to be right. And since the big game is right around the corner, that also means it's your last chance to get into the football action before next season. So close the season out right with Prize Picks by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. Now, all you got to do, it's a simple game, is pick between 2 and 6 players' projections. Like, for example, will such and such a player get more or less than 3 touchdowns or whatever it is? The game is super simple. It's easy as that. And my favorite thing about Prize Picks is picking multiple sports in the same lineup. So with basketball back, I can pick LeBron and Patrick Mahomes in the same lineup, and I can root for both of them. With the new social feature also, you can now share Prize Picks with your friends and copy lineups from winners with a single click. Copy lineups you like or just use them as inspiration for your own picks. You can even follow Prize Pick partners like us and tail or fade our picks with just one click. And by the way, Prize Picks now has early payouts. If your player gets off to a hot start, you now have the option to cash out those winnings before the game even finishes. One of the easiest games to play has got even better. Download the Prize Picks app today. As I say, now available in California. Use the code BELIEVE to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code BELIEVE to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. He's a great guy, man.
Yeah, he's the shit, and he's a dog, man. He's a dog.
And he said something there, and I'm glad he said it. I don't know why it made me think of this, but Rebecca, my wife, and I, the other day, were having this conversation because right now, men's testosterone levels have been at an all-time low, right? And she said it. She said because men don't do manly shit these days. Like back in the day. And I mean, hundreds of years ago, they were out, they were hunting, they were doing whatever. They were getting into wars and soldiers and shit like that, right? These days, one, toxic masculinity is very frowned upon, right? Which I understand some of the negative aspects of that, but a man should be allowed to be a man. Secondly, a lot of people, right, you got to hold it all in line. You can't be aggressive. You can't speak your mind. You can't crack jokes. They're bringing out a law in the UK where they're calling it the banter law, to where if you overhear someone having a crack and maybe saying something misguided or maybe a little sensitive in a pub, you can get arrested for that because they've had to hear it, right? You're not allowed to be a man anymore. And then most of the jobs that they're doing, a lot of people are doing tech. They're sitting on their ass all day long. They're not moving the body. Apparently, if you go out there, studies show that if just chopping wood raises your testosterone, they're not working out, they're not going to a gym, they're not boxing, they're not sparring, they're not testing themselves physically and mentally, they're not doing BJJ, a lot of people. They're sitting around and they're being dormant The testosterone levels are dropping. But there's Fluffy. When he's a young man, his dad's probably giving him a clip around the ear. At the weekends, he's working on the engines and winching trucks and all kinds of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, what do you think of that? Rebecca said, men don't do manly shit these days.
Yeah, well, I mean, so often it's frowned upon to try to even push one agenda on a gender nowadays, right? We've reached that point where it's like even saying a manly thing, what does that even mean to some of these younger generations where it's like, well, non-binary, all of this stuff. And again, whatever, to each his own. But that's why I think so much of it is just, yeah, it's not, you're not told to push little boys into sports or do something. It's what do they want to do? We've put so much of that on children now and then you get to like high school and college and half these kids are sitting, like you talked about, either working in an office or just staring at screens all the time. They don't even get to go out to bars and try to like pick up girls that way anymore. Now people are not interacting anymore either. So even beyond testosterone, it's just people in general are becoming disconnected. And yeah, that's of course going to drive down testosterone in dudes. You're just not getting it out. You're not getting that energy out.
Exactly. I'm glad you brought that up because like the alcohol consumption is at an all-time low.
Yeah.
Now, of course, there is, I'm not saying it's healthy for you.
Right. But it's you socialize.
You socialize. Going out with the boys in England, the best times of my life, going to the pub after work on a Friday afternoon. We'd all be in there. Right, my mates that were working on a building site, they'd come in. Me and the boys from the factory, we'd be in there. We'd all meet up. We'd sink a few pints. We're playing some pool. We're busting balls. We're talking shit. Rebecca's on the phone. Michael, when are you coming home? I'll be home in an hour. An hour comes. I'll be home at 8. You know, I walk in at 12:30. She's pissed, slapping the face. You know, she's never slapped me, but you know what I mean, right? But you've got to be around us, you know. So yeah, maybe there's a little slight health depreciation, but the mental aspect of being around other people and laughing and joking and socializing.
I saw this cool clip of a guy who he's some sort of influencer, but he's very fit, but probably like early 40s, right? 41, 42, something like that. And he was talking about this exact thing and how, listen, it's great to be on a health kick. It's great to want to be fit and health conscious and not drink. Obviously, drinking too much, we know it's not good for you. But he's like, but so many very young guys and people in particular are doing that really early and they're not going and having those experiences. And he was saying the same thing that you're saying. He's like, look, if there's a time for you to do that, it's when you are young and can get away with that and go and recover. And then, yeah, when you're 40, 50, then maybe you start thinking about being more health conscious and live longer and do all this stuff and have a family. But yeah, when you're 21, 20, 22, you should be going and doing something that's going to get you out there and do wild shit and have memories and experiences. And this guy was saying, he's like, so I love it that the younger generations aren't drinking as much. He's like, but I also think it is making for, I don't know, more boring people.
Yeah, 100%. No one's got stories to tell. You know,
I mean, come on.
You're supposed to make mistakes. That's how you grow as a person. All right. Maybe you don't down a bottle of whiskey and get shit faced and assault a bunch of people.
You don't have to go and get fucking hammered, but yeah, go like you're saying, going to the bar with your boys or your girlfriends, whatever, guys and girls, like getting out and looking forward to something and seeing people and meeting strangers too. Like this just doesn't really happen.
Well, apparently 2 out of 3 men under age 25 have never approached a woman from the other sex and don't know how to. Because again, they're watching streamers in the dark, you know what I mean, developing no social skills whatsoever. So don't do that. You got to go out.
And that's what's crazy about it. They're like, I don't really know how either, bro. You just fucking make it up. And if there's any kind of real connection or she finds you somewhat attractive and vice versa, it really doesn't fucking matter what, as long as you don't go up and go, oh, I want to have sex.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be all right. What's the word to say? Oh, I'm sorry. No, I have a boyfriend. I'm good. You walk away, your boys make fun of you and you have another drink.
Yeah. I remember that as a kid. Like, right, go talk to her. And then you get blown out big time when you're walking back to the lads, and they're all like, you dickhead. You know.
Well, let me guess. She had a boyfriend. I've seen her here every night this week. I don't think she has a boyfriend.
And if anyone's trying to find a girl, going up with the pre-rehearsed cheesy chat up lines, it's not the way to go, guys. You know, you don't walk up and say, "Hey, I don't know, what's some of the lines." Oh. That's a great jacket. It looked great on my bedroom floor or something. I don't know. They say some shit like that down there. I don't know. There's some bad ones.
Yeah, there's a bajillion bad ones.
I'm sure Harrington and Brian have got a few. But get out there, guys. Have a beer. You know, have some stories. Have some experiences. Make some mistakes. I remember when I went on The Ultimate Fighter Season 3. There's no TV. So all we were doing every night was sitting around talking, right? And I made a lot of dumb mistakes, and I got into a lot of parties and fights and wild adventures as a man. So we were sitting there, and I was always telling these stories, you know. And Josh Haynes, who I beat the shit out of in the final, he goes, "You're full of shit, Bisping." I said, "What do you mean I'm full of shit?" He says, "No one has this many stories." I'm like, "Bro, just because you're a boring bastard,
right?
Don't call me a liar."
I am. Yeah. No, I've got stories. Anybody that's done some fun things is gonna have some crazy fucking story. So yeah, that's an interesting point. And again, like, it's a good thing that people are becoming more health conscious. But again, like, pick your battles. Don't drink all the time, but you got to go have fun.
All right, let's get a 4-shot on. We've been going for a little bit here. We'll go through 325, make some predictions, and do some questions. If you have a question, by the way, send it into bympod@gmail.com. Also, if you're watching this, do us a favor. We're trying to grow the podcast. We want more people to know. You love the show. We love the show. We love doing the show, but we want more eyeballs. Like, subscribe. Please leave a comment. Help the algorithm. Share it to new people. Volk versus Diego Lopez. Harrington, who wins this and why?
Alexander Volkanovski keeps winning at 145 until Alexander Volkanovski decides he's done fighting, I think, at this point. Which I don't think he's one of the people I think is going to leave on his terms. You know, like, what more does he have to prove after winning this on his home soil? I think most people are expecting, you know, him to. Are you expecting him to fight much longer after this one? I think a lot of people have been talking, like, you know, at least online, like, one way or another, this is probably going to be his last year fighting, and it could be a thing. If you're on home soil and you get a big win, why not just drop the gloves right then and there?
It's his first time defending in his home country. He did fight Islam, but that was moving up a weight class, so he's never defended the belt in his home country. He's from Sydney. He is 37. Even with the win, it'd be a great time to retire. But Brian, otherwise known as the Sith Lord, I'm sure you've got a few stories about growing up when you were younger, getting blackout drunk, but who wins this fight?
I think that Volk wasn't prepared for how tough Lopez was in the last fight. I think this time he's going to come back. He's going to be all the way ready. And like Harrington said, I think he wins until he decides he's done fighting.
I agree. I think Volk is going to be even better in this one. I think he's dialed in. I've been watching some of his stuff. I think he's ready to go. And as much as I want to see him continue to fight, especially if he's going to win and make millions of dollars for his family, it's tough to tell a man to not do that. However, I do think it would be fucking epic if he goes and gets a huge win, maybe even a finish against somebody like Diego Lopez in Sydney, and can drop the gloves as a champion with 4 beautiful girls at home. It'll be a great story, but I don't think he's going to do it.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to retire after this fight.
Let's say, because here's the thing, you're right. Fairy tale, pardon me, ending. Yeah, you defend the belt in Sydney. The crowd goes wild. You walk out. You got the belt on. Everyone's kissing your ass. You're the man. However, if you jump in and do it again a few months later, you can get another $3 million.
Yeah. It's tough. 100%. If I'm Volk and I'm winning still, it's not like, it'd be one thing if he's just getting his ass beaten. It's like, Volk, why are you still fighting? It's like, you're the champ.
Mm-hmm. You're the champ. Dan Hooker, Benoit Saint-Denis, Paul.
I love Dan Hooker. I do. I have love for this man. I fought him. I always root for him to win. I hope he wins. I love Benoit, but I think Benoit is going to be a powerhouse. I think his grappling is really, really top pressure heavy and dominant from there. And I think he swings for the fences and has more knockout power than Dan. I think he's going to be a bit overwhelming for Dan, especially after a big loss like that to Arman in a similar way. I think Benoit gets it done.
Well, I can't.
I was just letting. I thought I don't need to cue you all.
I'll have the point. I'll have this point.
Yeah,
We'll
I just
point
figured
around.
Harrington was gonna. I think you're absolutely right, Paul. I think that that Dan Hooker showed us that he's not necessarily at the top of his game anymore, maybe. And
That's
and
next.
Benoit Saint Denis is he's coming up, so I do agree with you. I think he wins.
He's on mute.
I
Oh,
didn't
brilliant!
do it. I didn't do it.
Sorry, I was
No.
not looking at the screen. I was frantically trying to search for Dan Hooker's record in Australia because, man, like I feel like he's pretty tough to beat. On that side of the planet. I've seen Benoit Saint Denis. I've seen him struggle under the bright lights in big situations, co-main event on big pay-per-view set or big numbered event. I mean,
Pick Dan.
you said it yourself. You said it yourself last week, man. Paddy Pimblett loses that fight to Justin Gaethje in a super fun, entertaining scrap. All Dan Hooker has to do, go out, get that win. Now he gets to get his get back. Want to talk about my mom? Okay, go beat Benoit Saint Denis. You can go fight Paddy Pimblett.
I'm here for it. That's the situation I want. I
Dude, let's
want
go.
Dan to pull it
I'm
off.
making the pick. Dan Hooker.
Yeah, all right. I love it. I hope Dan can do it.
Well, do you think that's the next fight for Dan, regardless, win or lose, Paddy Pimblett?
I mean, Paddy needs a fight after a war with Gaethje, right? What better guy to go? They're around the same ranking. They're going to be a rank apart, basically. I mean, it gives Paddy an opportunity to fight a vet in Dan Hooker where you have massive beef with them. I don't see how you don't make that fight necessarily.
Well, just going through the rankings, Paddy ain't going to fight Arman next. Oliveira is fighting Max Holloway, so that's 2 and 3. He just lost to Justin Gaethje. He is number 5. Dan Hooker is number 6. Mateusz Gamrot, I mean, he hasn't really got a star, and he's also stylistically kind of a problematic matchup.
It's a perfect fight for Paddy.
It's Benoit Saint Denis.
And the timing lines up perfectly, obviously.
But yeah, or Benoit. Benoit's not a bad fight for Paddy either. If Paddy, if Benoit wins, that should be his call out. It's up a rank. It puts you in the top 5. You just saw him have a battle, right? You want to get a guy kind of after a big 5-round fight like that.
Houthi versus who was it? Fazeev.
Harrington.
I'm doing the sign.
Sorry, I was trying to change my background to the to this card. I think Houthi gets it, man. Fun fight. I think he's going in the right direction. I like Houthi in this fight.
Paulie,
I've been struggling with this one. I was thinking about this today before we even did it with who I think is going to win this fight. But fuck it. I'm going to go Houthi on this one too. I think he's going to bounce back. I think he's been doing this almost entire training camp, I think, with Volk and his team. And I think he's going to learn a fuckload from somebody like Volk and his team and sparring those guys down there. So I was on the fence. I can see a world where Fazeev wins, but I'm picking our boy Houthi.
I'm going against the crowd. I think it's Fazeev. Other corner.
I kind of think Fazeev might win, but I'm picking Houthi. Go ahead, Brian.
I'm going with Fazeev. I just hope he wins. I don't really have math behind this. I
like both guys in this too.
Does Taliesin Teixeira get knocked out by Tito Ortiz? That's the real question.
Wait, who do you think? Oh, you can't. Never mind.
I'm commentating.
I was thinking about this one too, and fuck it, I'm going with it. Yeah, I think Ty's going to pull a KO. He needs something. He needs a miracle.
If he's going
to do it, it's going to be in Australia.
I think if he doesn't win, he's looking at the door, correct?
Yeah, he's gotta win.
He's got
to make weight too.
Best. So yeah, just for his sake, I'm gonna pick Tai Tuivasa.
Harrington.
I'm just looking at like the Derrick Lewis that I saw last weekend. If you just got knocked out by that guy, there's no reason Tai Tuivasa can't catch you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Tai Tuivasa.
Yeah. And then opening the card, Quillan Salkey taking on Jamie Malarkey. We got an all-Australian derby opening up the card.
I'm so pumped to have another numbered event back-to-back weekends. I'm thrilled about the UFC being back. I had a lot of fun on Saturday. I think Sal Killed gets it done again. I think this kid's a real problem.
I ain't gonna point.
I'm with you, Paul. Let's just go with usually have a rule headwear wins fights, but this time I'm gonna go with the mustache. The mustache is probably gonna win him the fight.
I like that.
I think somebody just called out, quote unquote, the Australian kid, and I assume it was Quaylen Salkid that call out was. Can't remember exactly who it was, but like that to me is he's the next up and comer from that part of the world. I think this is him in a landslide. Jamie, you had your chance.
Yeah,
but who knows, man? If he gets this win here, he takes 100% of his shine, and he's the top prospect again.
And bro, friend of the show, Oban Elliott on the prelims as well. All the best, Oban. He's a good kid, isn't he?
Yeah, I like him a lot.
Oban's the man. All right, before we do questions, is there anything, Harrington? I don't think there is. And if there is, I think we've all...
One thing I wanted to say real quick, we don't even have to talk about it. And we mentioned it in the text, is that Alex Honnold free soloing that fucking building in Taiwan.
The climber.
Nuts. I was watching that simultaneously on my laptop while watching the prelim still. Bro, at one point he hangs off Michael without his hands.
Hold on. Brian, see if you can find any video to play while Paul's talking. Go on, Paul.
And dude, this guy is an absolute freak. Anybody that's seen the movie, the documentary Free Solo, where he free soloed this rock face El Capitan in Yosemite with no ropes. He's done like multiple climbs, and this building's 101 stories, and then he climbs to the top of this like life outside of a skyscraper. So, I love this guy.
So I saw this. Great. I saw this on the. I was flicking through, and the BBC had put it. I thought, yeah, typical BBC. Why would you show this shit? Because my opinion on this is probably dumb. Because this is coming from me that lost one eye fighting in the UFC. People shouldn't be doing this.
No.
Okay. This is beyond stupid. I get it. He's testing himself, and there's climbers out there. And I've seen the documentary Free Solo where he climbs up that mountain and stuff.
That's him.
Rock face. Yeah. And there's what do you call it? What do you call it where you jump off the buildings and stuff like that? What did they call that?
Oh,
base jumping.
Base jumping?
No, not base jumping. It's like a term where they jump, dum. They're running around cities. Parkour. Yeah, there's parkouring and shit like that. Bro, this guy's going to die if he carries on doing this shit.
Many have. There have been other well-known guys that have done this, that are friends with, that were friends with him, that he's collaborated with over the years, that have, you fall off shit.
You listen to him talk about it, and he says that nobody who's like a free solo climber has ever fallen. It's usually when they do like rope climbs and they're not paying like the utmost attention. He's like, it usually happens on like easy climbs. So his philosophy is he never does an easy climb. So he's always has life or death on the line. He's an insane person, actually insane.
They did a study with him during the free solo thing, remember, where they were testing, what is it, your amygdala or whatever that has like fear response, and his is dulled. His is literally not on the same level as most humans. So he feels fear, but nowhere near in the same sense that regular people do. And I don't know if it's because of so much of this that he's dulled that over his hyper focus, or if he's born he's on the spectrum a bit. I think they say it even in the documentary, Asperger's.
That'll do it.
Like,
you don't say.
You don't, yeah. So Arnold Allen, Jean Silva, and this guy, they're all.
Did you hear his quote? He said, Netflix paid me an embarrassing amount of money to do this. I would have done this for free. Like, the fact that Netflix handled the permits for him was like, okay, I'm good. And he's like, they just gave me hundreds of thousands of dollars to do, not millions, 6 figures. And he said that is an embarrassingly large amount of money to do that.
Well, he needs a better agent because next time if he does something, he can get millions out of it.
I was thinking that. I thought he would make millions off it, but he's got to be well off from all the free solo stuff. Like he's got to be doing okay, but he's nuts. Yeah, he's nuts.
But with the wife and kids at home.
And in free solo, they talk about, when he has kids and he's married, maybe he'll be a little bit more tame. And you know what's crazy, though? This is tame for him. Think about that. When you free solo Yosemite with no ropes, grabbing onto beams and structures that and they tried to hype it up like, oh, it's a different surface than grabbing rock in your fingertips. And I'm like, he's going to climb up this thing like it's a fucking walk in the park and stand over top and be like, oh, I just made however much money. And that's exactly what happened.
Let me ask you, though, did he have to climb back down it?
No. So when he gets to the top of the spire thing, they had a harness for him and he rappelled down to like a level where he could probably go inside. Because
for me, like when I was younger, I do a bit of rock climbing. I don't mean I do rock climbing. Me and my buddies would climb shit because we're kids. There was this quarry in the part of the town that we'd climb up it, and it's pretty high. You know what I mean? Like there was one famous time where some people jumped off it to kill themselves. The 2 guys had done a crime. They were going to jump off and kill themselves. And they got there and they went, let's go. And one of them jumped and the other one didn't. Oh. And the guy, like he survived, but you still see him walking around the town with like a fucked up limp and stuff. Imagine being that guy. You got to find that other guy. Dickhead. Why didn't you jump? Is it because I'm not fucking retarded? Anyway, but I've climbed up that. But the scariest part is you kind of get up and then you start panicking and you're like, shit, I've got to go back down.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No.
Anyway, whatever. I'm not a rock climber.
No, nor am I.
No. Right. If you got a question, bympod@gmail.com. Brian, it's been a few weeks since we've done any questions. What do we have?
So, unfortunately, people have not been sending in a ton of questions, but I do have one in the pocket here. This is from regular BYM contributor Jordan.
Guys, I'm from Dudley, Black Country. My question is, I got a bunch of questions. Bisping, did you train in Brum? Also, have you ever been to Black Country, like Black Country Museum or Wolves or Bridal Hill or somewhere, or Dudley? Also, how come, right, you know when a fighter wins, they jump on the cage, how come bear in mind, Birmingham isn't Black Country, but anyway, how come the steward pulls off the fighter off the cage? That could just make them have more injuries. Do they give you warnings or do they tell you what to do? I don't know, but anyway, my uncle actually saw you in Thailand as well, and you let him have a picture, take a picture with you, so that's pretty cool. I want to meet you one day, Bisping. I got really jealous.
Yeah. Right, what is it? He's got what?
He got really jealous.
Well, tell your uncle I said hello. I didn't know where that was going when he said, my uncle saw you in Thailand. Yeah. I was like, doing what?
Where?
Good question. The reason officials try and pull you off the cage is because it's actually illegal. And you're not allowed to do that, even in celebration. And you can be fined, you can be suspended, and you can have like your win bonus withheld and stuff like that. I've never heard of that happening. And I'm like, I even said, if I win the belt, you think I'm not jumping on top of the fence? You can kiss my ass.
Yeah, it's they always kind of warn you about that, but it's kind of like the unwritten rule where it's like, all right, if you're not doing anything crazy, like Gaethje gets away with doing a freaking backflip off of the damn thing, so they don't really enforce it, but they do have to warn you. And most guys are chill about it, like, okay, all right,
you've had your moment,
right, Michael, come on, get down.
We talked about this.
He said, I'll let you have your moment, but okay, get the fuck down.
Yeah. So anyway, a great episode.
It's good.
Right.
Shit to talk about. We finally got shit to talk about. We got fights to talk about. It was good. I look forward to this weekend. Good luck. Safe travels.
I'll be in Sydney until Wednesday.
Okay.
But we'll figure it out. We have a group text. We have a group chain. We'll figure it out. But guys, thanks for watching. We appreciate your support. See you next week. Bye-bye.